This is Module 6, Lesson 2. We're talking about front desk and treatment coordinators, why they matter. So why these roles?
So front desk is the person that the first person that they see when they come in, and it's the last person they see when they leave, right? So you want to make sure that they represent your business and your office really well. But then also, they set the tone for the whole entire experience, right? So imagine this, you go into like a reception office, anything, and they're just rude. Mm-hmm. That's going to set the whole appointment in this negative light, and that's not fun, right?
Yeah.
And so they can actually position themselves to be such an asset to your team, and make the whole experience great.
Yeah, and going a little bit further with front desk, especially with a startup, small practice, they're going to be the ones that are on the phone.
That's right.
They're the gatekeeper, essentially, and if the phone call is, you got Marge just like, she smokes 7 packs of cigarettes, before she comes to work, that's setting the tone of, man, I don't want to go there. I don't want to have to deal with someone that is going to treat me that way. But if you have somebody that is a people person that loves to talk with them, that phone conversation is going to go so much differently.
That's right. And again, I mean, you want it to represent you through and through. So if that person answers the phone and they're cheerful, they're happy, they're pleasant, they're trying to have a service-minded mindset, then it's a win for your practice.
So what are some skills, just talking about front desk, what are some skills that you look for in a front desk person, someone that's, person to person and on the phone? What are the things you're looking for?
Yeah, they have to be able to be pleasant, right? They have to be able to communicate really well. They have to be good at problem solving, right? Because typically they are the first person that gets the problem, right? If there's a problem going on, the parking out here was bad. Well, they have to hear it. They have to be able to stay calm in those situations and come up with a solution. They have to be organized, right? Because honestly, there's a lot going on up there. You've got people walking up trying to check in. You've got people calling. You've got insurance companies sometimes on the phone. So you have to be able to juggle all of these things at the same time and do it with a smile on your face, because people are looking at you, but you also have to talk the talk, right?
Yeah, I think customer service is essential for this role.
100%.
And, when you think about it, like as your practice grows, you might be able to set up a call center where you're having just the calls taken care of there, and then you have the front desk that are greeting and everything. But it's like when you first start, that person's doing both. They're juggling it, and having the time and the energy to coach that and understand like, hey, this is what I expect, answer rate's going to be this, using practice speaking, whatever it may be, letting them have that time and understanding is going to be huge for that role.
Yeah, I think you actually made a really good point. Things like practice beacon, right? They call and check up on your team. So that takes a little bit of the weight off of you. So it allows you as the doctor to go do other things with the idea that somebody's being held accountable. And I think that it's just those little things that you should look for. I know this is a tangent, but with partners, you should look for that with a partner, someone that's actually in the trenches with you that will help you grow and get your practice to where it needs to be.
With having that organization, using practice beacon, putting in the information that's needed, they're afraid of, drills, or, they're this, that, the other. They have financial concerns. Like the front desk person, and we can go so far into this, this is just a cursory glance, but we do have a course that is just on front desk. So, but they're very, very vital. Let's talk about what makes a great treatment coordinator great. So what do treatment coordinators do that helps patients and doctors?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is they take the information from the doctor and they give it to the patient in a very clear and understandable way, right? A way that is very easy to take and to understand. But what they also do, and an attribute that they need, is empathy, right? Because no matter what you're doing, you're asking this person to commit to thousands of dollars, right? You can't take that lightly. You have to be able to understand where that patient that's sitting across from you is coming from, what their fears may be, what their reservations may be, and you have to bring them to a place of peace to get them to that yes, right?
They have to be, again, another people person. They have to be able to communicate clearly and concisely. they have to be able to handle objections, be able to be told no a bunch,
Yep.
and not have that affect the way they present, treatment or anything like that. And I think another thing is being able to explain treatment plans.
Because, as a doctor, we go in and we talk, and even when we talk on a non-clinical level, we get so in the weeds a lot of the time,
Yeah.
right? And to have a person that can interpret what you just said to the layman person is actually a really great skill.
One thing that you can do to save time, if you're going for that kind of feel, is TC empowered consults, where they're the only one in the room, because guess what? They don't know that the doctor is supposed to come in or not.
Yep.
And if the treatment coordinator, if that's the only person they're talking to, and you're not having to take the doctor's time, you're going to set up that treatment coordinator to sound like an expert. You're getting that in there, and people are going to be way more comfortable, instead of, we love you doctors, but you come in and it kind of goes over people's heads.
That's right.
And you have to the treatment coordinator has to reiterate stuff.
Yep.
It's going to save so much more time.
Yep. And a lot of times is if you can keep it simple, then it's so much more successful.
How do these roles actually impact the bottom line?
Yeah. So, both of these things are helping profitability, right? So one person is scheduling people, getting them in, making sure that the schedule is filled, making sure that we're getting people in and out on time, making sure that there's no long waits, right? And then the other person is actually selling the treatment, right? So both of those things, you have a high percentage of closure with your treatment coordinator. All those things help the bottom line. And I think that it's a team effort, and those two areas are really important to the team.
It's the lifeblood. If that's clogged up, there's no blood going to the back of
That's right.
the office and everything. And I think, understanding that and being able to track it. Practice Beacon is a great way of being able to see, what's going on the phones, how's the communication, are we doing the 72-hour rule, are we doing all of these things? And then what is the treatment coordinator doing? Are they converting? Are they calling the pending list? Like where are they at on that process?
And it also helps you find those leaky buckets, right? So let's say you're getting a bunch of calls in, but the calls aren't converting from a call to a new exam, right? Well, you know that you need to maybe put a little effort into that process, right? Or you're getting them in the office, but they're not starting. Well, maybe you need to invest a little bit more in your treatment coordinator to give her some training and things like that to increase that conversion rate.
Some common mistakes to avoid would be underpaying these roles. How do you go about that?
Let's talk about it as a startup. So you don't have a ton of money, right? And so you're going to have to incentivize them, right? And you're going to incentivize them in ways that you are rewarding the behaviors that you want, whether that means your conversion rate is high for the treatment coordinator. And I like incentives because it is a way that everybody can kind of win at the same time. And so if you make it clear and concise about what those bonus structures are, most of the time people are very excited about it.
And you're rewarding the behavior that you want to see over and over.
That's correct.
The last thing I wanted to bring up here is, what kind of training does these two jobs need to have?
I actually think you should invest some time, energy, and effort into training them. Whether it's communication, whether it is how they answer the phones. It seems so simple. And yes, you can write scripts, but sometimes you have to have someone on the outside actually teach this. Like, it's hard to teach everything within, right? And so, you guys do a good job of offering assistance to those type of training programs as well. But I think it's adamant that each one of them has training outside the office.
I love it. And you can check out Front Desk Secrets. We got books. We've got the Ultimate Treatment Coordinator. There's a book and a course for both of those. They're great. But that's going to take us through this lesson. We'll see you on the next one.